I'm going to show you how to add this game to your code.org site. If you're not familiar with this game, if you haven't made it your own and all of that, I will link in the description the tutorial on going through this game, talking about what and how to change and why we are changing it, really making the game your own and changing up some of the variables and kind of seeing the power of code. Anyways, how to add it to your code.org site. So once you've changed up this game, you've made it your own, you've seen some of this code a bit, it looks intimidating at first, but well, some of it will be more familiar than you might think. You are going to copy all this HTML. I highlighted it all. I am going to right click. If you're on a Chromebook or MacBook or a laptop, you're going to separate your two fingers and click down at the same time to right click. I'm going to hit copy. I'm then going to go over to code.org. I'm going to, I am on lesson 9.6. You don't have to be on 9.6 necessarily. 9.6 links to your student website. So does 9.7. I know 9.8 does. A lot of them do. 7 something does. 7.8 does. All right, but I know 9.6 does. So this links to the website you are making as you go through code.org. That's where I need to be. And I'm going to hit, well, first I'm going to shrink down my instructions. Boop. And I'm going to hit add HTML. Okay, now we have this blank HTML document. We are going to delete everything on it. Totally blank now. You are then going to right click on this page. Right, so if you're on a Chromebook or a laptop, you separate your two fingers, you push down at the same time, and select paste. Okay, now there's the basic part of the site. Now I need to go back to my game. I'm going to go over to my CSS, and I want to want to highlight all of this. Oop. And now I'm going to right click on it, which separate your two fingers if you're on a laptop, press down at the same time. Copy. I'm going to go back to code.org. And now I need to add, I need to add a Css page. I am now going to highlight all of this and click backspace. Goodbye, code. Right click and click paste. Okay. It might not look like much has changed, and that's because it hasn't. What you need to do now is we have to link our CSS pages. So we added this CSS page. I now need to go to the HTML page I made. Before I do that, I am going to rename these pages. So I believe, let's double check. Yep, new -1 is my HTML page. That's going to be my game page. I'm going to right click while hovering over that. My mouse is over it. I'm going to right click and click rename. I want this to be named, I'm going to name mine game.html. Make sure you leave the .html. And now I'm going to find the CSS file that is going to work with our game. So if I go down here, yep, that's definitely it. I'm going to right click on it and click rename. And now I'm going to rename this game.css. Boom. Game.css, game.html, great. Now let's link our HTML. So I'm on our HTML page to our CSS page to make sure the CSS page is actually stylizing this page. I'm going to go style space, oops. Wow, I was off. I'm gonna not style, getting ahead of myself. Link space rel equals in quotes, you need style sheet. I just hit enter there because if you noticed, it started writing it for me. Style, yep, style sheet. So I'm going to click on that. Space, and now you need href, href, equals, and then in quotes, we want the name of our CSS. Well, this time it's game.css for me, so I can just click on it. I'm going to close that. And ta-da! The CSS is now working on this page. Okay? So, our final step is to get our code working. What we'll need to do that, way up over here, I'm going to click back onto CodePen. All this code that we have edited in the last video, I'm going to select the first line, and now I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom. all of it selected. I'm going to right click it and choose copy, and then go back to code.org. This is where it gets tricky. On code.org, you need to find the end of your HTML. My HTML ends here. It ends way down here on line 28, I guess. Wherever your slash HTML is, you might need to put a space underneath slash body and above slash HTML. That's where I am writing. First, you got to put less than script greater than. So script is SCRIPT. Script. I'm going to hit enter a few times. I'm going to now do the close for my script tag. Slash SCRIPT. Boom. Go down a line just to kind of clean that up. And now, this is where I can paste in between this script tag and this script tag my code. Let's see if it worked. Boom. Now you have a website with a game on it. And yours will obviously be a lot cooler than mine because you used last video to edit it and make it your own. Great.